This ain't nothing but
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, you have to wonder where their heads are at as they come in winless on the year at 0-10.
I think a lot of people expect rebuilding years to occur, but I don't think people expect to go 0 for the season in terms of wins.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Baker Mayfield, the second-year quarterback from Oklahoma, will pilot this offense as the Browns get set for their first drive. On 1st and 10, Mayfield, and his first pass is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Time to roll through the starters now defensively for Miami. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
Throwing, Mayfield. Open man is Taylor, he's got it. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Oh, yeah!
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 20 carries, 92 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. Oh, some strong running. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 30. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. He goes 105 yards on the kick return as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, there you go. They gave up a score to start the game, and as quick as they could get it back, they did on the return.
And people talk about this all the time, whether you're coaching it, whether you're trying to work on it, whether you're just trying to put in the minds of your players. Attack back as fast as you can after giving up a score. No quicker way than on a kick return.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mayfield. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy at his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He finds his target, Beckham. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be second and goal. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jerry Tillery in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on third down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. The numbers for him from a week ago, 10 carries, 58 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll get this to Eckler. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, but it's going to be second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some missed.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, You just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Fielded at about the 28. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Dolphin football. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. They started on the ground with Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
First down, Mayfield. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Mayfield on first down. It's caught by OBJ. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 76 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. The electric OBJ, the short reception, and then he did the rest of the work himself.
You know, there's a thing that the players always talk about, the coaches in the league, they call it play speed. Because, you know, we have that time speed when we're running the 40s at the combine and, you know, at pro days and all of that. But play speed is different. And OBJ's play speed is some of the best in the league. In other words, when he has the ball in his hands or he's running a route, he runs it just a little bit harder than most people. And oftentimes, you come up wrong on your angles trying to tackle it.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Joe Schobert gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Jackson taking a deep shot here for Hardman, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
So the defense creating some points. Not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Mayfield now. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big pass.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 35. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So two thoughts come to mind. One, get some oxygen. Fill up your lungs a little bit. And number two, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A first down throw for Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have some...
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Jackson. Wilson's got it complete. That one covers 29 yards, first down. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there. Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows them to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Let's go, D. Check safety, check safety.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Offense.
Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. It's caught. Beckham. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The kick on the field now as they will send this one away. It's set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether it's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. To throw, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's get it.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. McCrane's kick is good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. gun. Jackson. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to give the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll set them back 5. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They set up the screen to Chubb, and up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Let's go, baby.
He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. McGuire will try to pick it up. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now it's Jackson, and that is incomplete.
trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. This started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Jackson from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They'll try and throw for him with Jackson. And Wilson has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. Wilson now in his 2nd season in Miami. First 4 years were in Kansas City. He's always been a solid complementary receiver, but Miami really hoping he can take the next step in his development, be more of a go-to guy now at 27 years of age. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Jackson on the screen. This is Eckler. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Mecole Hardman the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Jackson throwing again. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Miami, the losses continue to mount as they drop to 0-11 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.